that the way you talk, it seems like you are not trying to convert anyone. You guys, it doesn't seem like the nature of your religion to try, because Christianity, I think, has spread because that is their goal, to get more people.
Yeah. Given that what they are giving them is not theirs, they have to do the needful to convert them. But for us, what we are doing is yours or is ours. So there is no need of forcing you. But your spirits will force you. no need of...
whether you like it or
yeah, whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you're born with it.
Okay. Hello, my boys. And welcome back to the Raydioactive podcast, the number one podcast in Uganda. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. And you guys are tired of listening to us all the time. Okay. Today I'm joined by my boys.
What ups?
What's going on, Chief?
Bro, this is like hearing you like this without the headphones on.
It's different.
It's so different.
And I hope people can
so
hear me
different.
clearly today.
Yeah.
Jeez, we're going to have a tough one today.
Do we sound good though?
Yeah, you guys sound good.
Nice.
Yes, you let us know if we don't.
Agreed. What's going on, guys? Oh, we need to address where we are. They're going to be like, what? These guys are just casually.
Why you're talking like this? That's the usual, the usual environment.
Just chilling. Just like don't mind anything.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on, you guys? How are you feeling?
Feeling good, man.
You're feeling good right now, where you are?
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Very excited for this. So, yeah, how are you feeling, man?
Dude, I'm feeling great. Besides my back might like start messing with me after like a while. These podcasts are really long and I'm seated in a very unusual way. Jesse, what's going on?
Nothing much. I'm excited to get into this particular one. Yeah, man.
Magic Muchibs.
It's one of my, I don't know, hotly anticipated ones in a way.
Okay, to address the elephant in the room, you guys could tell that we are in a different space. That's not the studio, okay? So basically we are in a... Who wants to explain this? You gonna explain? For those watching on YouTube, the ones on audio can't see where we are right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah.
For those of you that are on audio, we are in a shrine because today, actually this is a good segue to introduce a guest. Should I introduce a guest before? Okay, we are in an African shrine and we are about to introduce, I think this might be one of the guests that I really, really want to see. Like for me,
this was your idea. Let's make it clear before we go any further.
This was my idea for all of you that are watching. Yes, we're in a shrine and we're going to interview an African witch doctor. Okay, so this is a very unusual one, I'm sure, but like I wanted to bring us Raydioactive closer to... I wanted to bring this, like the setup that we are in, closer to you guys and actually understand like what goes into like African like witch doctrine in general. Why do I feel like this intro is off?
African traditional, what do they call it? Traditional
medicine.
Healing, necromancy. Same thing. No, I'm playing. Okay, without further ado, let me introduce this week's guest. By the way, if in case you guys watched our last episode, we usually go through comments, but we can't right now because we changed location. But please leave a comment down below on this podcast and let us know what you guys' favorite segment, and we will go through them in the next podcast. Leave a like if you enjoy as well. Without further ado, introducing Jaja Mayanja.
Snaps for you.
You can just put on the headphones there. Is that okay?
Yes, I think. Can you hear me well?
Very well.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you well.
That's good.
Okay, thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yes, we would like to talk about a lot of things. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I don't know on your side how you feel right now.
I feel very... this is a very different environment for me. I've never actually been to a shrine before.
Oh, let me hope that you're comfortable because there is nothing that is not natural. Everything is from the common environment. And I think you have to feel at home. Nothing can happen to you yeah, just know that you'll go back normally as you came.
Okay.
And this incense smells very nice. What do they call this incense in?
This one in our language in Uganda, it is called akaban, but it is applied almost in churches, in mosques. It is applied because it smells good, and when you are there, you feel comfortable. But again, mainly it is targeting the spiritual part, your spiritual part.
So this is incense at Wabani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it creates a suitable environment for your spirits and your grands. We shall talk about that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for talking to us. My first question would be, Jaja Mayanja, how did you? Is that your actual name?
Yeah, it is one of them because there are many. I'm Mayanja, Ayanje Nsonga. In case you come with any issues, we can sort them. Not ranging from health issues, financial, and everything. So, yeah, that's my name.
Mayanja Ayanje Nsonga.
Yeah.
Could you get a bit closer to the mic?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. So the Jaja part, where does that come? Is that a title?
That one comes from the spirits that work, because I'm not the one who works, but the spirits are the ones who come and work on the people. So normally people call me that name because of the spirits or as you'll learn by the end of today.
But it actually smells really good.
You told us you have many names.
Those names usually come from the very many spirits that I get possessed by, and then they work.
How many names are there?
There are more than 100.
Hey.
Yeah, even me, I can't know all of them. I can't master all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
So how does someone get into this line of work? How does someone start?
So this type of work has a lot of types of people who deal in it. Some of them are supposed to do it, and others do it according to their decision. Because normally, according to the African traditional beliefs,
Yes.
like when you die, you don't die totally, but the spiritual part of you remains. So those are the spirits which are all over the world that control the world.
Question.
Yes.
Are those ancestors? Are you the spirits that you talk to? Those are ancestors.
The ancestors. So those ancestors are the ones that choose you before birth. When your mother is still pregnant, they choose you so that as you grow, you will do their work.
Okay, so mostly you're chosen for this work. You don't choose it.
Normally, you are not supposed to choose it. You are supposed to be chosen. But as I told you, someone can also try to do it for financial
gain.
How do you know that you're chosen?
Before you answer that, I have an important question just to frame some context. What exactly is an African witch doctor? Is that what you describe yourself as?
Yeah. African witch doctors are also having different types. Because normally, a witch doctor cannot work on everything. They have to be specific. For example, there are those who are supposed to help the pregnant mothers in their process of like antenatal care and also childbirth. So those ones were possessed by those ancestors who do that. Then you may find another witch doctor who helps to heal, like those who get accidents and their bones get broken. So those who help to rearrange the bones, to join them. Sometimes they may not necessarily be witch doctors, but they can be having that power to do that by applying very few medicines, and then someone gets okay. So that one, I think you can also call him a witch doctor. Then there are some others who don't work on people, but they are just in charge of certain cultural places, like cultural or heritage sites. So they are in charge of like mountains, caves, and so other cultural places. So they are there to control over them and also to dream about what should be done or what is not done properly. So I think those ones can also be taken as witch doctor. So witch doctors are of different kinds. Only that if someone is so much into money, can decide to do everything. But normally it should not be like that.
Oh, so there's money in it. Is this a job occupation?
sometimes it can be an occupation, but normally it is not supposed to be like, it is an occupation, but it's not a job. It can occupy you and do what you are supposed to do, but not necessarily for money. Yeah, because even when someone comes without money, you are supposed to work on him because you are there to do that job.
Anyone can just come to a witch doctor and you're supposed to work on him, or is it people in a specific area in which you operate?
Okay, it depends on the status of that person. Like someone can be in need and doesn't have money or doesn't have enough money. So there you can help. Then when he gets well, he can come back and thank you afterwards. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you are telling us, so how are people chosen for this work?
Oh.
How are people chosen?
Yeah, now, as I told you earlier, that when the mother is pregnant, the other ancestors pick a certain child still when is in the mother's womb. So that child can grow up, but with some signs. Signs can be on the body. For example, someone can have an extra finger. I'm just giving an example. Someone can be born with the teeth. Those are some abnormal things. But sometimes someone can be born with no sign, but in his life, he can get problems, which problems can force that person to find out the cause. So in the due course, that's when he can be told that what you are doing, you should live and do this work because your ancestors chose you to do this. And also that one can happen after having a series of dreams and other indications. Yeah, like someone can be sitting somewhere and he just realizes that he's surrounded by a snake and the snake didn't do anything to him. So some of those indications can also show.
Okay. What showed you that this was what you were supposed to do and that you were picked by the ancestors?
Oh, so me personally, I used to get dreams that are trying to relate to this. But again, I first studied in school and even got my degree it was education, and I was working. But in the course of work, I used to get a series of problems and accompanied by dreams trying to send some signals. And then at the end, I got serious sicknesses that were not even realized by the hospitals, because I was taken to hospitals and they failed to identify the disease. So the last option, not only for my case, but even for majority of the people in Africa, when they get such unclear things, they end up going to the traditional healers to find out the cause of the problem. So that's what we finally did, and then I came to realize that. But I didn't know it at first.
How old were you how old was that when you realized that this was your calling?
That one was when I was 19 years.
Were you healed? You said you were sick when you went to the traditional healer.
I was sick. Then after being worked on for some time, I was healed. And finally, I was told the cause and then what I should do so that I can't get the same problems again.
Okay. So you spoke on hospitals. So I have a question.
Yes.
After that day, do you still go to hospitals? Like if you fall sick?
Oh, yes. I go to hospitals depending on the disease. Because there are some diseases that are normal. For example, when you get bitten by mosquitoes, you have chances of getting malaria. So when you feel joint pains and others, then you go to hospital. When they test and you have it, it means you have to take the drugs. But there are some diseases that can not be even diagnosed by the medical workers, whereby they can tell you, we don't see any disease. Or your blood pressure, for example, it can rise abnormally and finally fall, and it looks very weird for them. So some of those things are the ones that can force you to come here, but not to work on every disease, no.
I have two questions.
Yes.
So when you go to a doctor and you have those abnormal
situations.
They tell you we cannot work on you. They tell you we do not know what's going on and we cannot work on you. You need to find some other alternative.
Sometimes, in Uganda for this case, they don't easily tell you that we cannot work on you because they have to try different options. Like they can try this and say that if you don't have this disease, maybe you can be having this. So they continue doing different tests until they can tell you that we are realizing that we cannot see any disease, or they may not tell you and keep you there, putting you on drips and other things. But for you and your family, you can realize and say, this one is beyond normal, so we should think of another option. Yeah. And even there can be some, like someone running mad. Yes, it can be diagnosed medically that you have like brain problems. But there are some situations whereby someone, you can realize that the problem is having is not belonging to the hospital. You must go somewhere else.
How have you handled COVID, the COVID situation, coronavirus? Have people been coming to you for that? And you in particular, were you ever scared that you will get COVID?
Particularly, I was scared like any other person that I can get COVID, because the advantage that I have is that I went to school. Because majority of the people who do this job, they didn't go far as far as education. They stopped in lower primary and so on. But given that I went to school and I studied, if this one is a global pandemic, I understand that it can affect anyone. So I got scared, and I put forward some measures that can prevent me from getting it.
Oh, like what? Are you social distancing?
Yes, I do social distancing, and I wash hands regularly, and I do other medical procedures.
Vitamin C, zinc.
That one we just take fruits, because when you take fruits, you can get
plenty.
Yeah.
Are there certain complications which cannot be solved by the traditional methods, and for example, like the diseases which can only be solved in the hospitals? Like how you said, some diseases cannot be solved in the hospitals, only deal with this. Are there also some diseases which can only be solved in the hospitals, which
yes,
fail?
There are very many.
Some examples.
For example, for now, there is no medicine for HIV, meaning that HIV must be taken to the hospital. And it is not healed also from there, but at least we don't work on it. So that will be a lie, that we work on HIV, that we work on those. There are several diseases. But as we shall talk sometime to come, I will try to show you that sometimes the spirits can also hide in some of those diseases. That's why you may find that a certain family has a certain problem, whereby more than one child has that problem. Yes, genetically you can say that they inherited it from their parents, but again, these ancestral spirits can also hide in a certain disease which you think to be belonging to the
yes. But you said, for example, HIV. Isn't that a disease which has failed the hospitals? So
yeah, that's what I said.
Also, it has failed everyone.
It has failed everyone.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to.
Okay.
Okay, I see. Now, just back to the beginning. When one has been chosen for witch doctrine, how do you get educated on that? How do you get better at that? When you're day one, I want to practice.
Oh.
Where do you learn from?
Oh, yes. Now, where you learn from varies also. As I said, that even what you are going to do also varies. But, as I told you that all this is done by those ancestors or ancestral spirits, so they guide you on where to go, that you will be healed from there, and after getting healed, you are told the truth, then you start undergoing the procedures. And at the end, you can dream about going to certain places like mountains, and you be there firing some fires, and also doing some rituals that are putting you in making, so that by the time you come to do, you know what you are doing.
Let's just take a quick break right now and start rant again. Okay, we're back from a short break. Welcome back to the show again. Okay, so I have another question. Firstly, I think the audience needs to know what exactly is this in front of us?
Oh, the one that is trying to give off the smoke.
I see smoke. I see a dead
Oh,
animal.
oh.
Do you care to explain exactly what we're around?
Oh, no problem. Now, this one is just a skin of a certain animal called a mondo. A mondo is like looking like a leopard somehow. So it is used in healing because there are some spirits that use that like as their clothes, or you can put it around you, or you can even pick up a small piece and then use it for some rituals. And also you can put it in the wallet, like when you want to have blessings as you are looking for money. It can help.
Okay, so that's a mondo.
A skin for that.
A skin for that. And then I see some horns. What do the horns represent?
Now these horns, they are from animals.
Okay.
And different animals, because when you look at this one, it doesn't look similar to the previous one. So as we shall talk about the spirits, we shall realize there are different types. Now there is a type of spirits which in Uganda we call amayembe, because the word amayembe means horns. So they usually use those horns. And even in the traditional culture, they used these horns. They could make a hole and then use them to produce a sound when they are hunting. To make communications. So we still use it. And also when you are removing like demons which were sent to someone in the body, you can use it with other things to remove them.
Oh, so that like kind of sucks the demons out.
Yeah, but it does it like in a spiritual way or in a magical way, not a physical.
So that's how you're able to communicate with the spirits, basically.
With the different spirits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's leaves, and then there's that one which has leaves and some water.
Now this leaf is from a plant. In Uganda we call it omulamula. But it is normally used here in Uganda. They usually put it at the ends of the plot when you buy a plot. And you want to mark where you end, you use it. But also we use it usually in these functions. And when like a patient comes into this shrine, before entering, it is better that patient is first washed by this. So like you apply on that person.
It seems to me like protection. Is that like?
It is washing like the misfortunes if he comes with them and other bad. Like if he's not clean, it's like a way of cleaning.
Is that the reason why they use it to mark boundaries of land? Is that where it came from?
Then for marking boundaries of land, then there it is, because the word omulamula comes from the word okulamula, which means to judge. So there it is there to mark different plots where they end, so that there are no conflicts.
I see. And then there's a drum, there's a knife, there's a calabashes.
Now this one, a basket. This basket, there are different types. Basing on the tribe, because of course different tribes use different baskets. Now we use these baskets for the spirits again. We put there different things like coffee, like money, like depending on the tribe. Because like for the western part of Uganda, those tribes, their baskets don't look like this. They are a bit smaller and a bit long, like going up. And then there we put there millet, sorghum, simsim, and other things. But for here in Buganda, we put coffee mainly. So there, when you want to pray to your spirits, you come and kneel and pray. You request what you want to get. If you get it, you come and thank them.
Okay.
Then this knife, mainly it is for the female spirits, because when we are giving these spirits, like we call it okuwongerera. Okuwongera means to give someone what he wants so that he can give you also what you want. Or it is like respecting or showing respect to someone. So like for those who die, their spirits, we make their baskets. If they are females, we put there this knife in the basket, and then a certain piece of back cloth there. Sometimes that spirit or that ancestor can even come and possess someone. When he or she possesses someone, she will use this back cloth and puts it on, and also uses this, like this knife and so on.
There's so many questions I have regarding those spirits.
One moment. Is it similar to? So does that mean it's similar to olfactory?
Yeah, it is an olfactory.
Okay.
Is there a different
Understood.
knife for male spirits?
Yeah, for the male spirits, they don't use a knife; they use a spear and a stick.
Okay. Is it so that's what they put in the basket?
They don't put it there; they just keep it like this and put it somewhere near where the basket is.
Okay.
That's very interesting. Okay, now these spirits, when you're praying, I've seen that you categorize them in different. There's male, female. There's ones for birth. There's ones for. Can you exactly identify which spirit exactly you're talking to? Is it like singular? Is there like a certain spirit, or you pray to spirits in general? Like spirits for birth in general, or you can
you as a traditional healer, or you as
a traditional healer.
Patient. You as a traditional healer. Of course, you as a traditional healer, you know the categories, and then you know which spirits you have in your clan, because you are doing that on behalf of your clan, not on your own behalf. And even the olfactories are different. So as you're praying, there are some issues that you have to pray to a certain spirit, not from everyone. Like the female spirits are prayed to by usually the female when they are asking issues like pregnancy, giving birth well without surgery, such things. So there you cannot go to the other spirit in charge of hunting. No. There. That's why you have to be specific when you are praying.
I see. And then are there certain consequences for not praying to the spirits if you're a witch doctor? Or if you're not
if you are not a witch doctor, including you, not praying or not doing what should be done.
Yes.
Not doing what should be done to the spirits is a very big mistake, and it is punishable. And I think you will be punished in case you are not doing the right. Because everyone is born with those spirits. Everyone. Only that they pick someone to do their work. But everyone has them. So they are everywhere. And mainly, they are the ones usually in charge of the dreams that you get. I don't know whether you dream, or I don't know whether you remember what you dream. But even the idea, decision making, what, they guide you. There are those that are bad, and there are those that are good, as we shall talk about them.
I heard you say that the spirits are in charge of the dreams. But I wanted to ask, what about people who say that they don't dream? Does that mean something?
It means those people, they have a poor connection to their spirits.
Poor connection.
Yeah, they are not in touch with them.
Yes. And also it sounds to me like there are very, very many spirits.
Very many, more than people.
More than people.
Yes.
Is there a hierarchy in the spirits, or are they all the same power?
There are very many hierarchies.
There are many hierarchies.
Yes.
Could you give us some examples, like the general hierarchies?
So, in brief, let me start with you. According to the belief that we belong to, you, when you die, when you are still alive, you have your body part and then your spirit. The spirit that guides you to pass there, not to pass here, to do this instead of this. So when you sleep, we believe that spirit goes around. I think those are the dreams that you get sometimes. Then, when it comes back, sometimes you can wake up. But when you die, the body remains and then the spirit goes. So that spirit, we call them emizim in Uganda. But of course, in different cultures, in tribes, they call them different names. But you can call them the ghosts, for example. Now, those spirits, when they go and don't rest, it is wrong to say that you rest in peace, because they don't rest. You don't rest when you die. So they go and continue to do work. Which work? Protecting those who are still alive. So as they do work, they keep on advancing, like as time elapses. like after 100 years, after 1,000 years, after 10,000 years, because this world has existed for so many years. So as they advance, even basing on their powers which they had, because as we are here, we are alive, but we don't have equal powers as far as spirits are concerned. So even the power that someone had when he was alive also matters when it comes to that spirit advancing from one level to another level. But normally, those ghosts finally, the emizimu, finally become amayembe, which in English, the word horn means amayembe. So after some time, then amayembe can become emisambwa. Emisambwa, like they are the demigods or the semi-gods. The emisambwa. Then
they advance and they keep
advancing.
Okay, I see.
With the time.
So that's originally ghost, like just a spirit. Then demigod.
First there's amayembe.
Amayembe, in simple terms, you can call them like the servants, because they are the ones that are sent by these other supreme spirits to do certain tasks.
I see.
Okay.
But the time, we can't have a formula that after these years, because I told you it depends on the power that someone has,
the spirit,
and also the hard work that someone did when he was alive. Which hard work? Being obedient to them as you were alive.
To the spirits that were there.
Yeah. That you were doing their rituals well. That makes you to be with more powers.
Is there a point when the spirits now come back? They come back and they're human again.
Oh, now coming back is when children are born in the family. Those spirits come along with those children, as I told you that you are born with them. So that's why they choose, according to the scientific description, they can call that genetic inheritance. But here we believe, like you can have 10 children, but one child can be interested in digging, another one can be interested in politics. According to us, it depends on the spirits that chose that person.
So it's not necessarily that spirit has come back as another person, but the person has come with a part of that spirit.
Yeah, and that spirit chooses that person. And even another one chooses that person. That's why they can say, this child looks like our grandfather who lived some 200 years back. Or like his aunt. Like someone is looking like her aunt, like that. So,
just generally, are there opposing sects of witch doctors? So, for example, are there some? Firstly, do you watch Nigerian movies or movies at all?
Sometimes I watch, but not so much.
Oh, okay. Is that an accurate representation of what goes into witch doctrine? Because I see them like fighting, and then we see a person going to a witch doctor and then cursing another person, then the two witch doctors are now fighting.
Now, the problem that is mainly in this task, I will not call it a job, is that it has people, some of them were chosen, as I told you earlier, and others were not chosen. They are there for money, because they can try to forge and then get some money from the people, which you can call the patients.
Oh, okay.
So they can end up having conflicts because it is not so organized. Like you see these other religions, like the Christianity, Islamic religion. So here there is no like the proper order. So there is no proper administration, no proper like doing of work. So that's why you can find any type of person trying to hide in this job. And then all those problems like you are talking of in Nigeria, they are everywhere in Africa because of that.
No proper institution.
The institution is there, but it is not very proper.
Yeah, so because I think I've seen there is some sort of like organization.
Yeah, it is there. There is an organization called the Tondism faith.
Tonism.
Tondism comes from Tonda, who is the God, the supreme God, the creator. So that one is the one that we belong to. But again,
is that the same as Katonda?
Yes.
Okay.
In the normal way of calling him. So that is the supreme spirit on top of everyone, on top of every spirit.
I'm sorry to take you back.
Yes.
But you said you started this work when you were 19.
Yes.
So before that, did you believe in the spirit, or were you on a different path? And did your family conform to this as well, or did they believe in something else?
Okay. So at my early age, our family was not so much into this. But as I was making like 12 years, because our family had a lot of problems and according to the village setting, they started trying to find out the problems, and then there we started to become a bit closer to this kind of life. So by the time the other problems came to me, it was easier to identify.
Which village was it?
That village is in Rakai district, and it is called Manya. Yes.
Oh, but you speak Luganda very well.
Me?
Yeah.
Rakai.
Yeah, I speak
Luganda.
Luganda.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, doctor, what would you say are some of the disadvantages of these tasks, being in this task? Would you say there are any?
Yes,
in these
they
days?
are there.
Like that one that you just mentioned, like fraudsters, people that pretend to be.
Yeah, now the people who pretend to be doing this work, but with the aims of getting money, they tarnish the name to an extent that when someone looks at you, he or she just reflects the others. So that one makes you like to lose respect. And again, the perspective which the community has on this is not good. But the cause is very clear. Like when we were colonized and these religions came, many people diverted to those religions and abandoned this. So the people, it is problems that bring them back mainly.
Yes.
But they come hiding. They cannot come straight that I'm going. Like you can go and say, I'm going to hospital. And you shout that I'm going to hospital. Or I'm going to church. But you cannot shout that I'm going to the shrine. There people will laugh. So meaning that people fear. But they do. They come, but they fear. Meaning the perspective is not good. Mainly because of the practices that are not good that are in this job, and also the diversion of the religion.
What are some of those practices that are not good that you said?
One, being so much into money, whereby you are talking of the bad practices.
Yes, ones that scare away people.
Okay, one of them is money, being so much into money, whereby some traditional healers end up stealing money without doing what they were supposed to do. That one is not good, and it scares people also. Because some say, no, those are thieves. Those are thieves. We cannot go there, even if they have problems that relate to this. Then another one, because majority of the people who do this job did not go far in education, the way they do it scares the patients, the community, and also themselves. So one, the hygiene, like you talked about COVID-19, for them they can associate that to spirits, that maybe it is spirits which caused the COVID. So that one makes people to lose trust in them, to lose trust, because you lose nothing to have this place clean, to have it as something that does not scare. Yeah.
Let me ask you something. That perception that is negative on witch doctrine, does that make it harder does that make life hard in general, identifying as a witch doctor?
Sorry?
Does that make life, like, for example, it must be hard to find a partner here in Uganda, Kampala, when you identify as a witch doctor, right? Was that ever a problem for you?
Or because of the perspective, and because of these witch doctors not being able to open up that I'm a witch doctor, that it can make someone to fail to identify them.
No.
It might make it hard for you to be
open
accepted in society.
Or like to socialize with others.
Socialize with people. When people ask you what you do, if it's your occupation.
Oh, like also to feel free to introduce yourself that this is what I'm doing.
Yes, and just like in general, getting married.
Oh, and
even if she's okay with it, the dad might have some issues, the mom.
Oh, yeah, of course, because of the perspective of course, it is not so easy. Because you have to depend on the community values and what they believe in, and you just go with that. So if you see that this community does not believe in this, you can also keep it aside. When you go to where they believe in that, you can also say that I'm in doing this, you see. Yeah, because you cannot solve that problem right now, that issue of perspective. It has to take a very long journey, and according to what I see, it may not take a very short time to get dealt with.
Is there any future, like, is there any, how do we change the public's perspective on this? Because even the people watching right now are going to be like...
Yeah, they are also going to be scared just by looking at this. By this one, like, which I used to drink.
For example, what are you drinking there?
Now, here I'm drinking the local beer, which we make from banana. And this one is just a calabash. It grows like any other plant. And then these ones grow up like fruits. And then you clean them and then you put a drink. But when someone looks at it, he gets scared, and like if someone finds it on the door in the morning, he can run away. And then when like this one is a back cloth. A back cloth is got from a tree called the efficacy tree, which we call emituba here in Uganda. Now imagine a tree, and then you get a what? A bark or a cover of a tree, and then you put it here. But if someone finds it on the door, he can run away. So that's the perspective which we are talking about. That to remove it, we need these children to grow up when they are not scared about it. Because even me, I know that when I was talking about emizimu, amayembe, emisamba, you were also scared, I think. But now that's just a word. Eh? Like you hear the word spirit in English. Or the word ancestor in English, it doesn't sound so bad. But when I say emizimu, someone gets scared.
Negative.
Like when you say it in public, people try to look at you. You see? So that is... Now this one, when someone looks at it, he can run away. But this is the horn of an animal. Which animals you have at home? Goats, cows, and others. This one is just a tail of an animal. So all of them are normal. This one is a tobacco pipe from clay soil. Now imagine clay soil, and then you try to mold something, and then you put a wood, and then you put tobacco, which everyone knows that is a cash crop. But someone can be scared. So it is all about perspective, mindset, and so on.
I have a very interesting question. The population of people that practice witch doctrine, whether it's a job or an occupation, is that increasing or it's going down?
There, I can say, we can try to put it in form of percentage, maybe percentage increase, because even the population increases.
Yes.
So I can't say that in 20 years back there were a few and now there are many, because even the people are many, the people to serve.
The percentage has stayed the same, but the absolute figure has gone up.
Maybe the increase is proportional, maybe with the population.
On the negative perception that the society has on this work, I'd say one of the things that, at least here in Africa, that feeds into the negative perception is that we hear about recurring is child sacrifice. Would you say that falls in this realm of work? Is it still under this category? Is it effective? Does it work? Why do people do these things?
Oh, now on the issue of child sacrifice, and also mature people, sometimes they are sacrificed, women and so on, and albinos, I heard of it in Tanzania
and Malawi. So even in the hospitals, you hear removal of those parts, kidney removal and other parts. They are removed. So people can try to hide in something. That is very common. That's very common. But what I told you, like the way I explained the spirits, that when you die, you become a spirit, and then so there is no aspect of being bad. But now, because the way these spirits give, like blessings, is very normal. Like if you don't work, you will not get money. For them, they just guide you to do the job well, to be blessed in the job. But the way you get the money is not very abrupt. Now, when it comes to the day-to-day life of people, whereby people want to get money very quickly,
they end up importing some other evil spirits. I can call them now the evil spirits or the demons.
You mentioned demons before.
Yeah. Like here, normally we have what we call a majini. But a majini, you may find that in Tanzania, where they are usually got from, maybe the word amajini is not bad, but there are those which are good and those which are bad. As I said, even amayembe is a common word here, which is not sometimes not sounding good. Because amayembe which are good are the ones which you call amayembe amazade. Amazade means those ones that like their parents, they are parental. Those ones are good because they are in your lineage or in your family. But when you import those bad ones, then they can ask for things which are not normal, like blood and other human beings, which is not good. But according to this culture, we don't sacrifice human beings. We do only with the animals. And even with the animals and birds like the chicken, we don't slaughter them near the shrine. We take them far away. You come introduce it here, then you go slaughter it far away, and then eat the food as meat. Eat it as
You cook
meat.
it.
You cook it. But you don't surround this with the blood. Blood is not so good here.
Also, you guys' image has really been tainted, eh? And movies don't, the media doesn't really help with you guys' image.
Yeah.
Because what, for us, when people think about witch doctor, they think cutting a snake, splitting it open, and then eating it, smearing it everywhere, blood, and then someone dies tomorrow.
And again, another problem, which I may not call a problem, is that this traditional work should not be put on like social media. It is not supposed. Even now, I just requested the spirits because you had told me earlier. Then I accepted to do it. But these spirits do not accept us to publicize what we are doing. They don't allow us to market what we are doing. But when you work on someone, it is that someone who should bring another one. So you don't need to put a signpost or to put on radio or to do anything to show that you are even a witch doctor. But if you are doing the right work, people will keep on doing what? Coming. So necessarily, I may say that the social media does not need to help us. Because even if we are helped or not, but when we are doing the right job, it will remain right. Maybe it is helping those others that usually market themselves on TVs and what. But when you are doing the right thing, you don't need to go and market yourself.
I have a question. What do you think of the other religions? Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, all the others. What about them?
Those religions, when you try to look at their origins, one time, usually I spend some time and read about those holy books so that I can understand those religions. Now, when you look at Christianity, mainly it is all about rotating on Jesus. But Jesus was born usually around there in the Asia, and finally it spread to Europe and so on. So you cannot tell me that you who is a Muganda, speaking Luganda, you can pray in English and then your God, let's call him the God, and he hears you. It is better to pray in your language. For example, we have a lake here, Lake Victoria, which we call Nalubali, which is the major lake for the spirits and other things. Now, if someone is born there, of course, the spirits of that side will be served with water because that's what is in the environment. Now, you may find a tribe whereby the place is a desert. So that tribe there, I don't think their spirits will be served the way you serve these spirits of this other place. So these spirits are served according to your culture, but you cannot pray in Arabic language and then you pray for your God.
So basically, what you're saying is that our spirits are rooted in our culture. So people who are Christians and Muslims, that's not their culture. So those spirits
they can't
help serve them.
But what they can do is just to socialize with others and also to spend some time there.
Why do you think that message of Christianity and Islam, because those are the two biggest religions, why do you think they spread more than your religion?
The way they spread is that first, those countries that brought those religions, they had first colonized. I think colonization came before those religions. So when you are owning someone, that someone can accept what you are giving him. Secondly, the way they were imparting their religion in people, they built schools. So they get you from when you are a child, as I told you, that now when you speak to a 10-year child that amayembe, emisamba, he can run away because he's not used to hear that word. But since this Christianity starts when someone is young, he grows up when he's familiarizing with the words. So that's what they did first. They built schools, they built hospitals, because they were I can't say they were financially stable, but they used our resources to be financially stable, and then used those facilities to capture the people.
But then, because you said that the spirits are our ancestors.
Yes.
So colonization happened a long time ago. So what about our ancestors who were converted to those other religions? Do they still serve us in our culture or in the other culture which they were converted to?
Oh. Now, as I was telling you about the spirits, what happens when you die, there is judgment. To the spirit, there is judgment about how you operated. If you were doing well, you just go and serve and get advanced. If you were not doing well, you first get put in a prison, whereby you will last there for a certain time depending on the crimes that you have. So those who had diverted for so long and abandoned this cannot help even by now because they are still imprisoned up to when, I don't know, depending on their crimes. That's why maybe normally the people who are very rich, who used like those foreign spirits which are bad, when they die, their spirits get punished like by being imprisoned, so they can also not help. That's why normally those spirits that usually help are the ones that died for so many years back. Maybe if their punishments got over, or even when they got more powerful and so on. I think that question was answered.
Yeah. What exactly do you specialize in? Like which kind of people come to you mostly? Which issues do you help fix for people best, you in particular?
So particularly me, I help people who want to, we call it Oksamira. Oksamira means to pray to your spirit, like to do what their rituals and so on. And to guide them on how to pray to their spirits, how to bring them closer. I can guide them and take them through the process and give them advices. Then, people who are bewitched, when the witchcraft is associated with this, I can also help. Then those who are having failures to get pregnant, I can help. But I told you it can be because of different causes.
Yeah.
Someone can fail to get pregnancy simply because of these spirits being annoyed, or because of another medical condition that can be worked on in the hospital. Then, when your property gets lost and you want to get it again, we can also help. Or if you want to improve on your financial, like your job, your income, we can also see how we can pray and work on you and you advance.
I like that. So basically, do you do anything on the side, or this is what you do? Do you just totally practice?
Hey, you are talking of other work.
Yeah, other work.
Throughout the day or throughout the week.
Throughout the week.
Oh, I do other things. I do some agriculture. I rear animals and I rear some chicken, goats, and cows. I think you saw them out.
Yes.
Then I grow some banana and other plants. Then I also do some online tutoring. Because I'm a teacher, I cannot abandon my profession.
Yeah.
So there are some children that usually ask for help. I try to help them online and sometimes physically.
Wow, you know so many different
things.
Yeah, you're very diverse in your skill set.
So being a teacher, do you also teach people about this? Like the way you're teaching us now, have you considered teaching people about this?
No, as I told you that I depend on the perspective which the people have. There are some people to whom that when you introduce such a thing, they can even get scared of you. So I have to be very mindful about that. But I can try to bring it indirectly like that, but I cannot like spread this gospel to them directly.
You said what do you usually get in payment for helping people?
You're not supposed to get payment.
You're not supposed to get payment.
No, we get payment, like all those things that I've told you I work on, like when you want to sell a plot of land and they have failed to buy, I can help you. Then we discuss on how much you'll give me. Then after getting it done, you pay. But I work depending on the way I see you, because it is not me who works, but the spirits that I possess. They can judge and know your income status and can try to decide the amount of money based on that.
So you actually get paid for this?
Yes.
Oh, I thought at the beginning we had said that if you're doing good, you're not supposed to do it for money.
Not too much. It says it shouldn't be your primary goal.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. That's why I try to supplement this with other work. Now the problem comes if someone relies on this only.
Yes.
To an extent that you can start trying to explain to people to come to you. So it is not good. That's why I try to get other financial.
I wonder, does the government deem this as an official occupation that you can actually write this if you're applying for a bank loan?
Can you tax? Are you taxed?
How do you guys pay tax?
Oh, now for taxing, we are not taxed. And again, you talked of bank loan and so on.
Yes.
It's not also a government job. But it is recognized. It is just recognized as a religion or a practice because we have what we call Uganda Nedagaliayo, which is an umbrella organization.
Like a union.
So we have a certificate. It was there in the other room that we left. So that certificate is the one that allows you to continue doing this work.
It's called
Uganda. You need a certificate.
Uganda what?
You have to be registered. Uganda Nedagaliayo. So you have to be registered, and the head in the country is Mama Fina. I think you heard about her. Yeah, so we are recognized. And in case you don't have that certificate, you have to be arrested. Yeah.
You have to be arrested?
Yes. Because during the registration process, they try to come and assess how you work, whether you know what you are doing. Only that, as you know, even if they do that, some other bad people can still do their bad practices.
Yeah.
Within.
So
the way I see, okay, you can go.
I wanted to ask,
yes,
what happens if someone has paid for their services, and if someone paid for the services and what they paid for doesn't come to pass, can they get a refund? Is that possible?
Okay. Now, usually it is like this. When you come here, you put only 2,000 for checking what like the problems that you have and so on. Consultation fee maybe. Then you give us the task to work on it. When it gets through, that's when you pay. When it doesn't get through, you don't pay. That's how we operate here.
You pay after.
You pay after getting what you want.
What happens to the person if they get what they want and they don't pay?
Those ones we don't mind about them. It is the spirits that deal with them.
How does the spirits deal with those people?
They can deal with them differently, but like if someone came here asking for a job and then he gets the job and he forgets to come back here, he can get some problems over there and even the job can even go. Or sometimes the punishment may not come immediately. So the ancestors do that in their own way, but I don't keep on minding about them.
I understand.
Okay, let's take a quick break right now. This is a second break, and then we'll be back shortly. Okay, we're back from the commercial break. Not very commercial since we're not being sponsored. But anyway, so it seems to me that the way you talk, it seems like you are not trying to convert anyone. You guys, it doesn't seem like the nature of your religion to try, because Christianity, I think, has spread because that is their goal, to get more people.
Yeah. Given that what they are giving them is not theirs, they have to do the needful to convert them. But for us, what we are doing is yours or is ours. So there is no need of forcing you. But your spirits will force you. No need of...
whether you like it or...
whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, you're born with it.
Yeah. So there is no way you can run away from your spirit. Or from your father or from your grandmother. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask, how are people supposed to tell the difference between a genuine practitioner and a fraudster, someone who is fake.
Or can I know which people you are talking of?
Anyone.
I'm just saying for the
Anyone who
viewers, for
wants
the viewers
to.
who are watching who
Anyone,
might want to
okay.
be in touch with someone's
So-
services.
Someone, if you want to identify the right one, first of all, it is your spirits. I said your spirits guide you on the right person. Because first of all, we operate in light. When we are operating, it looks like this. No darkness. But there are some, I hear that they operate in darkness. That's not acceptable. So, one, you analyze the way that person does the things. The way that person works also can tell you whether that person is genuine or not. One should be in light, and that person should handle you with respect. And you can see the way he talks, what he's talking, whether he's trying to threaten you. No need of threatening, no need of conning. Eh? And I think women have got a lot of challenges when like the practitioners are males. Eh? So there you have to be very safe, you as a person. Then with the right person, first of all, that right person should not market himself anywhere. If you see anyone marketing himself or convincing someone, that one just know is not a right person. A right person must not market himself. It is the products that should market him. Those people that he works on are the ones that should bring others. Or if others get dreams about the place, because the spirits can show you the dreams, which show you the place, the location, the person, the way he looks like. So by the time you come, you see that it is the right person that they showed me in the dreams. But it depends on the connection you have with your spirits. If the connection is poor, it means that no guidance, you are just there as just like any other animal, which is not good.
On that same point, what is the criteria for being accepted into the association?
The criteria, the way you operate, they do look at the place, whether the shrine was built properly, whereby like the patients or the people you receive have security, and the place is organized, and you operate well, and also the reports that they get from you, so they can do some intelligence about you and then approve you. But as you know, in the after that, you can still do bad things after being approved or registered. But the criteria for looking for a proper person to work on you, like a proper medical doctor, it's not there. It is all about the guidance of your spirits or your ancestors.
But if you do something bad, can your certificate be revoked?
Yes, it can be cancelled, and you can get punishments, and the punishments, there the government now comes in and you get imprisoned.
You said that people are born with spirits. Is it one spirit, one man, or someone can be born with several spirits?
Usually, the spirits are many, and the more you work for them, the more they increase.
Inside you?
Not inside you, but around you. Yes. Because they are around you. They are usually with you.
Yes.
Now, like when you put this incentive, the good smell, can bring them closer because it is a good environment for them. Now, like when you put this lock beer for them, they keep on coming. That's why they go where they are needed. They go where the situation is good for them. But at birth, usually you can be born. I cannot count. That will be a lie. I will have lied. But they can be like around 10 and over. But in the family, one person can be chosen whereby he has a lot of them, usually to guide you as family members. When you want to consult, no need of going to a witch doctor. When your person in your family has gone through the good process, your spirits can possess him. They come, they talk, and then they guide you on how you should move on.
You also said earlier that the spirits are not the same, that some are more powerful than others.
Yes.
What are the benefits or disadvantages of being born with a strong spirit on you? Is it a good thing? Is it seen as a bad thing? Is it seen as a...
Yeah, now being born with many or strong spirits is good because they guide you and they help you. Like when you are selling, like you have a shop, those spirits can make clients to come more to your shop to buy. Or if you are studying in school, they can give you intelligence. Or if you are in politics, they can enable you to talk well, to convince the people you are talking to, and also the people to believe in what you are talking, so that you can have a bigger following. So that's how they work, depending on what you are doing and depending on which spirits.
I have a very interesting question. You mentioned possession. Sometimes the spirits possess you and they possess other people. These people that we see who are cursed, quote unquote cursed, and are possessed by spirits, are they being possessed by bad spirits in particular? And if so, how come most times when people are possessed, it's for like some sort of long time, it's for a very long time, and the spirit almost has to be pushed out?
Oh. Now, the easiest way to clarify that question is that spirits are of two forms. There are some which are good and some which are bad. Now, the bad ones are the ones that make us to do bad things. Let me give you an example. In your family, for example, you had your grandfather who was a thief, and then that grandfather dies. After some time, that spirit can come and possess a child. So that child, after some time, can start stealing. It means he was possessed by a bad spirit from the family, not sent by anyone to that person, but born with it. But as you pray here, with the time, the bad spirits keep on moving away from you, and then you get surrounded by the good ones. Then, in addition to those that are yours, there are some that can be sent to you, which I talked about, like the Amajini, Amayembe, which are the evil spirits sent to you to harm you. Like when you are competing somewhere at the job, someone can send them to you, and in order to remove them from you, you need to go to a healer. Those ones are bad. But if you are possessed by a good spirit, that good spirit talks on you and then says sensible things which are all about guiding you. Even like when we are working on patients, it is not me who works on them. It is the spirits who come and possess me and then identify the problems which that patient has and also finds the solution for those problems. But me as a human being, I cannot know the problems. Because the medicines are very many, you saw them there. But I cannot apply all of them to everyone. So, like you go to the hospital and then they first do diagnosis. They test, they try to analyze, to examine you, to see which problems you are having. So even the spirits are the ones that can do that. But me as a person, it is not very easy to know your problems and the source of your problems.
On that point, you said that there are good spirits and bad spirits. But Raymond said that some people go to church and have their who are demon possessed and they become exorcised.
Meaning they get
They remove the demon, the spirit pulled out.
Oh.
Is it possible to have a good spirit pulled out in that same session?
Same
and how are
Or
Christians
in church?
How are Christians able to pull out spirits?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that actually working? Are they pulling out spirits? And also, is it possible to pull out also lose your good spirits?
Oh, let me talk about it maybe. Now, for those Christians, the way they do it, I believe that they have some powers which they use. They don't do them as themselves. Even as we can do, like if we put some medicines here in addition to this incentive and we make someone smell or sniff this smoke, some spirits can come out. But
Can we make him smell it?
maybe another day you will come.
When you're free.
Yeah, but now, those spirits that can be pulled out are the ones that were sent to you. But they cannot pull out, like, for example, if the spirit is for your grandfather, you cannot pull him away. Unless you use other mechanisms which are so advanced. But it is bad, because it is not good to remove the spirits that are in your ancestral line, like in your family. But these ones that we are sent to you, they can be removed. Then for the other ones that are in your ancestral line, as I said, there are some which are bad and those which are good. As you pray here, with the time, the ones which are bad usually don't surround you, and then you get surrounded by the good ones.
Okay.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
I'm just a bit closer to the mic. Would you let your son or daughter become Christian, or choose to be Muslim or Buddhist?
Yes, I can allow. Even me, I'm a Christian and I have never cancelled my membership there because I was baptized. That is the entry to that religion, and I have never gone back to withdraw that I'm no longer Christian. So I'm still a Christian.
You're Christian?
Yes, and as I told you that it depends on the perspective where you are. I cannot go to a function, they are praying and I don't participate in the prayer because it's normal. It doesn't remove my spirits or doesn't make me annoy the spirits. No, provided that I do their work properly.
But you keep saying do their work and do what they want. But what do they want?
Oh, now usually, as I said, they are different. There are some which we serve this local beer. This local beer is made from banana, sorghum, sometimes from millet. Now we put it here, and then we put there, so they come and drink. But the way they drink, you cannot see. Sometimes they can even be picking up the smell. You cannot know the mechanism. Then sometimes we have some vessels made from clay, which we call, this one is called the endeku in Uganda. In English, it is calabash. But there are some calabashes which are tall with a long neck. Those ones, we call them engunda, endeku engunda. So those ones are also used to serve certain spirits. So these ones are usually for emizimu, and then some amayembe and also luwali. Then sometimes we serve water. Sometimes we serve water from the well, spring the well, and sometimes we serve water from the lake, depending on which spirit. Like for Mukasa and Chiwanuka and Musoke, who are the luwales for the spirits from the lake.
Lake Victoria.
Yeah, those ones, we serve them with water from Lake Victoria. That's what is doing what they want. Then sometimes we make some juice from banana, just juice. We call it omwenge bigere. Omwenge bigere is when you add sorghum. But here, that one is called the omubisi. So that one is for Ndaula. There is a spirit called Ndaula that we serve with that drink. So that's what is doing what they want. Then we have different fireplaces specifically for those spirits. Lighting them with the firewoods makes them to come and be there and have a good time. And also with their drinks. And occasionally we do some serving. Some, like for Ndaula, we serve fruits, all the fruits. Now, there is no any magic with the fruits. And it is very normal.
Yeah.
Because everyone eats the fruits. Sometimes we burn or we roast these banana fingers, and then we also give. We call them empogola. Then we also cook the normal food and we eat, and then we serve them. So as you are doing that, you are trying to do their work.
So what do the spirits do with these things when we offer them? How do they
eat?
How do they eat them?
How do they accept them?
How do they accept them?
Now,
and also, why don't they get them themselves?
Oh.
Because they seem like very small things, like water from the lake.
They are very small, but because even if you don't give them, they can be there because they cannot die. They can go to where there is fire and they be there if they want fire. That's why some people don't give them and they are still there. They can still live. But since it is you who needs them and you are below them, you are there to serve them. You do it because of respect. And in turn, they can also help you in your battles or in what you are doing. And how do you know that they received them or not? One, you can dream something is related to showing that they were happy or seeing people eating, enjoying, and you can think that what we served yesterday, maybe they appreciated.
Okay.
And also seeing your finances and other things that you are doing advancing and getting well.
You should work on some sort of book or documentary, because I wish everyone would listen to you.
I
They'd
think
change their thoughts.
There needs to be like an education, because even though you said that you don't usually market it, you still need to sort of enlighten people just to
remove
the
that bad
stereotypes
bad
and all
impression.
that. Yeah,
it's true.
Because even if your kid is practicing he'll go to school and people
Yeah.
tell him
You
this
should
and
discuss
that.
it as the association.
Yeah, because there is a belief that like when you are possessed by them, you don't go to school, you don't wash clothes. That's a lie.
Don't wash clothes.
You don't shave. Eh? Oh,
shave.
that's a lie.
For me, the assumption I had was that all practitioners might be rude. I didn't think I'd see you smiling today.
Oh, that one depends on the nature of a person. And you know, personality also depends on the spirits that you have. As I told you earlier, when you were possessed by spirits that were very happy or what, you can also be like that. Spirits that were very friendly, very what, you can also be like them. That's why you have 10 children, or they are twins, but they don't have the same personality.
I have a very interesting question. What's the hardest spiritual challenge you've ever faced in your life since you started practicing?
Now, spiritual challenges usually is with doing what they want, because sometimes they can give you dreams that direct you to go to certain mountains and you stay there for like any clear time. Like you can spend there more than 3 months, lighting their fires, giving them their drinks, praying, smoking this one. This is called a tobacco pipe. What we put there is tobacco. When you smoke, the smoke that comes off is very good for them. So all that is doing their work. But doing that, sometimes there are challenges. You are in the mountains. Sometimes you can be there alone. It can rain. And then immediately after stopping, you light the fires again and so other things. So they are challenging. If you are not committed, you may not manage.
So what was the hardest one that you faced for you?
For me, what I faced is when I was sent to a mountain, the place called Bigobya Mugenyi in Zimbabwe.
I know it.
The place where the Bachwez had their capital. I don't know whether you heard about that.
Yeah, we should study about them.
Yeah, so there, I had to be there for 6 months. 6 months without money, because there I was not financially well. So I had little money, and I had to be there to do what they want. And it was a rainy season, so I had to keep on firing according to the instructions. So it was not so easy. So the second challenge is with the patients that we work with, because some of them come to test, and then some enemies can try to hide in them and try to harm you. So, but because of the spirits, there I'm not so scared, because at least for them they can see more than me. Yeah.
I want to ask about, so you've already told us about how this applies to the Christians and the Muslims. What about the non-believers, the ones who don't believe in anything?
Now, at first, just believe that Christianity and other religions cannot help you in any way as far as blessings are concerned. They cannot, because they are not yours. They are not yours. So how can something that is not yours help you? How can you pray in the Arabic language? So those who are non-believers, as far as this is concerned, they are similar to those that are believing in Christianity, because Christianity is also not theirs. So they are like the non-believers.
Because there's nothing helping them.
Yes. And there are some who believe in this, but they are using it to do bad, like to bewitch others, to harm others, to make witchcrafts that try to turn to spoil other people's lives. Those ones also have bigger punishments for what they are doing. They can be punished when they are still alive, or when they die. Their spirits can be punished.
But does the punishment you receive differ if you are a good person, even though you didn't believe, or if you believed in Christianity, but if you did good things for other people? Because a lot of people ask that question.
When you do good things to others, you are getting a credit, because you are helping someone else. And that's what we believe in. That's why even if you come without money and I see you are suffering, I can help without money or without pledging. Because you can pledge when you are sure you will get. But someone can say, my child is very sick, but I don't have money. So as you are trying to identify which amount he has to give, it shouldn't be so high. So when you help, you are trying to appease the spirits of another person. So in turn, they can help you in again. So you can see yourself advancing. So helping is very good. But there is another complicated part of it. I think you see some people getting mad, becoming albinos, failing to have marriages, failing to have children, being lame. You see those sufferings. All of them are coming from these spirits, sometimes from these spirits. And now, these spirits can have a time whereby they want to squeeze their person or to make that person suffer in that time so that he can find out the source of the problem. And then you, in that time, you come to help, to rescue that person. There, you can end up suffering again.
Because you're interrupting.
You are interrupting with the punishment of another one.
Have you ever experienced one of those very violent spirits?
All spirits are violent. They are violent if the situation makes them to be.
Okay.
Like when you over-abandon them, or some people do bad things in them, like they import spirits which are bad and put them in these ones. Like, for example, you came here and we gave you this basket, and then you, because you want to get a lot of money, you go and import other bad spirits and you add them here. And then they can end up disturbing the other ones. So there you can get a punishment. Now, when you produce a child, that child will be born with a crime.
A defect.
Not a defect, but with like an inherited suffering because of what was done by the parent. So unless that person works so hard, that person can go through his life when he's suffering because of the mistakes that were made by the parents or the grandparents. So those spirits were not violent, but because they were disturbed, that's why they became violent.
I have an interesting question. Do you see some similarities in what you teach here and Christianity?
Yes, there are very many similarities.
Which one do you believe came first? Because I've seen a lot of arguments that they took some leaves from us and that we might have taken some leaves from them.
Which you are talking about what and what?
Christianity and
this one.
Yes.
So you are saying which one came first?
Yes, which one do you believe came first?
Coming where?
Which one do you believe was first?
Before another one.
Yeah.
I think when I was trying to read about the Roman Empire and the culture in the Europe, I realized that they were believing in their traditional beliefs before Christianity. Christianity came just 2,000 years and some years back when Jesus came, and Jesus had disciples, and then some moved to Rome, and then they put their headquarters there. But Rome is standing on 7 mountains. So Rome had some spiritual activities going on there. So they also had their traditional cultures, but at the end, maybe they abandoned them, or some of them remained believing in them, and then others coined these religions. The religions were just coined. Yeah, that's what I can think.
I see. Okay, so in summary, I would like to just close up here. Okay, so in summary, before we close, I would like for you to tell everyone that's listening, to give them some advice, if there's anyone that would like to practice to get into your same occupation, is there any advice that you'd have for them?
Now, for those who want to join the occupation, I cannot advise them, but those spirits that chose them are the ones to guide them. So I cannot advise them for now. But what I can do, because someone can be supposed to do this job but can die without doing it because of not knowing. Those are the people who go through their life suffering. So it's good that someone finds or discovers about him or herself. How can you discover? Try to pray to them. You kneel where you are. Pray to your spirits, those who lived before you in your lineage, to guide you. When you get some dreams, try to seek advice from people who are doing this. Try to look at the way they are talking, whether they are righteous, and then try to find out. But don't just live there just like that without trying to analyze or assess your life, how it is moving on. There are some times whereby you can see the problems that you are getting, that they are beyond the normal, that they are not supposed to be like faced by someone. So there you can start thinking about yourself.
That's a very good speech.
Yeah.
Nice. What about to the people that have watched this and had a misconception on what the practice includes? and just doctrine in general. Is there anything you'd like to tell them?
For those who had a bad impression or perspective about traditional belief or practices, I just need to tell them that you just look at yourself. You came from your father, then your father came from his father, then his father also came from his father. Now, where are those people? They are there, so you have to try to find out they are that line, because it didn't die. So the bad practices are there, but you have to be sensitive about where you go to ask about this. But what I can say, this religion is very good. We have servings where we have some fruits and other food which we eat together for socialization and interaction. And we also get advice and courage from our ancestors when they come and talk to us, and they tell us what to correct, which is not going right. So it is a very normal thing. Lighting fire, these drinks, we also drink them with the spirits because we are the servants of those spirits. And then we live a normal life. When you are not here, you go and live a normal life. Yes. This practice is suffering because of the people having a low education. But if it can have people who are well educated, that can even look at what is in Kenya, what is in another continent, I think their way of doing things can change. But it is not a punishment and it is not a crime.
I have one question. There's a common practice that we have of, say, when you open a drink, you pour some down and they say that you're pouring it for the ancestors. Did that have a root in this traditional practice?
Who does that?
Yeah, there are some
You've never
people,
heard guys say for the dead homies and they pour it on the ground.
there are some people when they are drinking like this water or sodas, before they start, they first pour down. Yes, for some spirits, or like if their spirits are not well served, they can do that to cool them down. But a time can come when they can no longer be cooled down by that. So that one. And again, sometimes they can give them rules that whenever you are drinking, first do like this. But like when you are in a hotel and very many people are sitting and the floor is very clean, you can now not start pouring.
Wait, but you annoy the ancestors. You don't.
But
No,
there you point on the floor.
The
not on
ancestors,
the-
you discuss with them, and then you come up with what to do that can make all of you comfortable, you and them.
I see.
But you have not to neglect the community and to be in your own world. You know, it's not acceptable. You have to live a normal life.
Today, I have to say I've been pleasantly surprised. I've been educated today. I had no idea this conversation would go like this. I had the opposite image that I'm sure. And I think this was very useful to whoever was watching. This is totally different from what we see on TV, because TV is the only place that we experience doctrine and like practice, your practice.
Yeah, you are right.
And the image I had was so different. But thank you so much for clarifying and giving us some
insight
on what it's actually like. You guys are very intelligent. You're very well spoken. You have another life outside of this.
Yeah, it's very good, and I'm also appreciating for you coming here. And it was a very nice interaction. But also I'm not trying to convince you to come, but I want you also to change the mindset, because it starts with you. Don't be so much scared again to hear such word, to see back clothes and so on. Yeah, that's a very good start. I thank you so much for also coming. Yeah, this is where we work, and after some time we go and do other things.
Maurice, we would like to come back for another show if you would have us again.
Yeah, no problem. We shall plan and then we have it.
And you
Thank
should
you so much.
definitely consider doing a bit of PR to just change the image, on a larger scale.
Oh yeah, you are right. You are right. And
Open up an Instagram.
yeah, I'm planning to do that, but I have to do it with the permission of the ancestors.
Association.
I have not to do something that is controversial to what they want. Because even like writing, I have a lot of writings that I've made, some books, but I cannot publish them. Because traditional culture changes every time. What did yesterday may not work today. So you cannot have it written like a Holy Bible or a Quran that does not change.
Yeah.
This one is a very dynamic thing. You cannot write it in a book.
Okay. I think that's it for me. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Jaja Mayanja, for having us today.
Thank you too.
All right. Hey guys, any last word?
Yes, we appreciate your time. And we'll definitely be thinking about this conversation for a while to come.
Oh, that's good. That's
He told me he's considering joining.
joining. Your spirits will guide you. on that.
I'm already,
You're
already
in.
there,
You're
whether you
already
like it or not.
You're already in the thing. Huh?
Mm.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Jesse?
Thanks for watching till this point. Please like and subscribe. If you have already, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Like the video. We're almost at 2,000 subs, by the way. Subscribe, smash subscribe on the subscribe button, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Let us know who else you guys would like us to have a podcast with. And leave a comment down below. We love those. Thank you so much. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, Castbox, everywhere, Google Podcasts. Till next time, you guys. Peace. And may the spirits be with you. May the spirits guide you.